Welcome back, everybody. Today with another reaction. Today we're reacting to CoffeeZilla with another investigation of his. Uh, if you like the video, you should like, you should share, you should subscribe. Let's get straight
Today
into
we're
it.
investigating
AI deepfakes.
for the scams,
propaganda, and harassment that they enable.
Pretty spooky, right? Now, I tried to make this video 4 years ago, but I failed because it was too difficult to even demonstrate the technology. But today, anyone can be deepfaked, even the internet detective.
Hi everybody, this is CoffeeZilla, and I don't usually do videos like this, but the crypto market is going through a major crash.
Now, let me stop
Well,
me right
that's
there.
obviously
I can't believe
fake.
I used to trust that guy. But truthfully, nobody is really safe from this tech. Mr. Beast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman, The Rock, John
By the way, have you guys seen the TikTok's video that use Neil deGrasse Tyson voice and says some stupid ass shit and making you believe that it's him who says it? Because I saw some of them and I realized it's not him.
Cena. They've all been deepfaked. And it's not just for scams. Viral videos, news reports, the White House has even shared deepfakes. And today, I
What?
want to investigate all of it so we can finally learn what's real and what's fake.
I don't think AI is that smart yet, but I think we are getting there. Like next year, deepfakes and stuff like that are gonna be.
All right,
exactly the
before we
same
can
like real life.
investigate deepfakes, let's break down what they are. A deepfake is just a piece of media that makes a person do or say something that never happened using deep learning. Hence the word deepfake. The technology has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
I'm gonna show you some magic.
This kind of looks
real
like
thing.
Brad Pitt, but not really.
Except, of course, it's not the real thing. That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher, and he's
I was wrong about that. Well, you see, this happens when you're not American. You are getting actors wrong. I say Brad Pitt. Oh, Brad Pitt is the blonde guy. This is the Mission Impossible guy.
the co-founder
I
of
remember
Metaphysic AI, and he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to 100, this felt like a 90, and I was worried about how it could be
more
used
like
with scams, especially as they put in more effort, time, and money to push the realism. And that's why I reached
Maybe
out to
50.
Metaphysic AI in 2022 to collaborate, and they agreed to deepfake me so I could warn people. But unfortunately, that's when I hit a roadblock, because I learned about the incredibly complicated technology behind Deep Tom Cruise. I would need multiple broadcast cameras, lights, I had to read a special script, and that's just to get the model trained. Then you have to act, and for a variety of reasons, I wasn't able to finish the video. The magic of Deep Tom Cruise was that they made a very complicated process just look really easy. But ultimately, I'm glad I didn't finish that video because I was about to warn the world about this kind of hyper-realistic deepfake. And that's kind of what the world already is worried about, right? Because it captures our imagination. We can all imagine a world where this is the norm, that you really can't tell what's real or fake. And that's why every few years, a hyper-real deepfake celebrity goes viral, because it's a step towards that fear.
we're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything.
This is not real. You can kind of see it in his face, but it's. I think this is more like an 80%, close to 90, of realism.
At any point in time, like Jordan Peele.
But today I'm convinced there's a bigger risk, something that I spent very little time worrying about, which is actually the dumb deepfakes, the slop deepfakes, the obviously bad ones that were made on consumer apps. The kind of deepfakes you don't need professional equipment for or a Hollywood team for. Early on, most people
but you
and
can-
myself just disregarded
You can easily see those. They are so obvious to catch.
them because it just seemed like they were obviously fake. But the threat I didn't see coming was that curve we saw earlier flattening, and the low-effort deepfakes starting to get realistic enough to fool enough people. And that makes them
Really?
far more dangerous than Deep Tom Cruise could ever be, because unlike him, anyone can make slop deepfakes easily and at scale. And of course, that's exactly what happened in 2025, literally the year of slop. That's when we all saw a
Yeah, but you can see how bad they are.
tidal wave of content, and it's not a surprise why. AI tools had gotten cheap enough, easy enough, and just good enough to flood social media. And unfortunately, I think deepfakes are experiencing the same phenomenon. Just think about the difference between the two approaches. 4 years ago, I was set to collaborate with a world-leading deepfake company. I would need their help, their specialized technology, a custom training set, and a huge amount of data. But today, I deepfaked the intro you saw in the beginning with two $20 subscriptions by myself. I used the likeness of 3 presidents, the world's richest man, the world's most popular YouTuber and podcaster, and had them all say things they never said. And how long did it take me? 2 days, mostly because I'd never done it before. And you might say, well, it didn't look as real as Deep Tom Cruise, and that's absolutely true. But my question that I'm starting to ask is, does it need to be that real to fool enough people to be dangerous? How good is the average person anyways at telling the difference between AI fakes and the real thing? And this is where I realized I needed an expert's help. So I went to the Discord diner to find answers. Can you tell me your name
Really?
and what
In
it
the
is you
Discord?
do?
My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California.
Never fucking mind. He found the scientist. How the fuck do you find the scientist on your Discord? What the fuck? Damn, he got connections.
California, Berkeley, where I specialize in digital forensics, misinformation. The first thing you want to ask yourself about the type of work that I do, which is building computational mathematical techniques to detect fake content, is do you need it? Can your visual system and your auditory system tell? We run in my lab here at UC Berkeley perceptual studies where we, for example, have people look at images. Half of them are real, half of them are fake. Hundreds and hundreds of participants, they're barely above chance. Images are through what we call the uncanny valley. They are now indistinguishable. Now with voices, same thing. Real voices, fake voices, half real, half fake. We published this study just about a year ago, I think, maybe 9 months ago. Also barely above chance. With video is interesting. So video is, we are doing this literally as we speak. We have a paper under review right now. I would say it's a little bit better than images, a little bit better than audio. Your accuracy, where chance is 50%, is about 70%, give or take. So slightly above chance. But again, in the best possible situation, in a lab setting where we're telling you what to do, they're not emotional videos, they're not partisanship, you don't have a prior belief. I would say within the next 12 months, full-blown video is going to be over, right? It's over.
Let me repeat that. Most people cannot tell fake audio. They can't tell fake pictures. And in 12 months, they probably won't be able to tell fake videos. What does this mean for us?
It means do the same thing that you can see on Twitter. Put the goddamn AI label on everything and make it illegal to not have it. If you have a video which is AI or has AI in it, you should disclose it. And it should be mandatory to disclose it. If you are a state, government, or a regular person and you are publishing videos, you should have the responsibility of saying if it's AI made or AI help on making it when you post the video everywhere. If your video or everything has AI in it, you need to disclose that. Or just make the AI generated content not how should I say this? If you are in public, important public figure, make it so that it can be impossible for the masses to use your likeness to spread out misinformation. Not like a Hollywood celebrity, more like a politician. Like make it so to be impossible for, I don't know, Trump have deepfakes of Trump, the president of the United fucking States. You should not be able to do that. Or Putin. Not be able to make deepfakes of Putin or who else? Who else are world leaders which have position of power, like let's say the King of England or the UK, the King of UK, what's his name, Charles or whatever his name is. You should not be able to make deepfakes of those kind of people. That should be illegal.
as a people who are living in a world of media. That is what this investigation is about. We're gonna look at the 3 biggest applications of deepfakes in your life, specifically scams, propaganda, and explicit media, starting with scams, where deepfakes are used all of the time to impersonate people, whether it be a loved one, a celebrity, an influencer like Mr. Beast. They're usually deepfaked to sell a worthless product.
If you're watching this video, you're one of the 10,000 lucky people who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just $2.
That Alpha Grind product.
Have you seen that? That was Jimmy. That was the biggest YouTuber on the world. He's known for giveaways. And he did, and the deepfake of him could be used as a scam. You should not be able to do that. But kind of tricky because he's a public figure. Like, you can kind of use his likeness because he's a public figure. Can I just not use his face? Because his face is so much in the public that in the public domain, everybody can just slap a picture of Jimmy everywhere.
Right? That's all over TikTok. If you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top.
Or in my case, cryptocurrency.
But it's in moments like these that the best opportunities are born.
Sometimes they're even selling companionship.
We'll get through this together, step by step. You're not alone, and I love you more than words can say.
But the goal every time is to leverage your trust in the deepfaked identity and use it to make money. One of the most common schemes are live streams of President Trump or other famous CEOs, deepfaked with a pretty simple scam.
If you want to come out stronger, you need to build your portfolio back up fast. And that QR code is your gateway. Minimum 0.1 BTC, 1 ETH. You send, you get double. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course, President Trump is not actually going to double your money, and scammers just steal.
It should be highly illegal to have a video of Trump saying that. That should be like a 30 years minimum prison sentence.
Steal whatever you send. But despite YouTube trying for years to shut this down, they keep popping up. These scammers keep bypassing restrictions all the time, and sadly, YouTube CEO even admits it's getting harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated, which he says is critical for detecting deep fakes. Now, because of this, YouTube in 2026 is rolling out new tools to help creators catch deep fakes. But even those solutions aren't perfect.
My name is Dr. Mikhail Varshavsky, better known as Dr. Mike. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician who makes content online focusing on busting health misinformation. We are fortunate enough that we're participating in a beta with the YouTube team on something called the likeness detection tool to potentially flag instances where people are misusing my image, my likeness to say things that I'm not saying.
Have you seen yourself deep faked in the wild yet?
I am deep-faked in the wild every single day, numerous times a day, and we're trying our best to fight back against that, given certain platforms have tools to fight back against this.
That's a great thing.
Where you have no say, and you just have to be okay with your image being misused.
Right. Dr. Mike highlights a problem. He's in the YouTube detection program, stopping deepfakes. But even if that were perfect...
Yeah, but it's the beta. Yeah, it's not like a polished thing ready to use for everybody.
On other platforms, there's just nothing to help him.
And the problem in this space is you're only...
Yeah, this should also be a thing that's mandatory for every platform. If you are a social media platform, you should have tools to limit your likeness usage by other creators or gamers that want to use your likeness. Like, if you have over, let's say, I don't know, million followers on whatever platform, you should just be able to press a button and do not let anybody use your likeness in some specific scenario, like scamming people or spreading misinformation.
As good as the lowest common denominator. You can have 9 out of 10 of these platforms doing the right thing and one of them not, and guess where the bad guy goes?
Well, of course, to the place who allows deep fakes. Now, I should mention, it's not always a real doctor, detective, or Mr. Beast that's being impersonated. Sometimes the deep fake isn't even of a real person, but the scam is some kind of bait and switch. Like when Corridor Digital showed how an AI modeling photo was used to bait and switch people into buying a product that wasn't what they advertised. And this is actually a huge problem in e-commerce. The YouTuber Pleasant Green made a video about a trend of old people selling you handcrafted products, only to find out that all these old artisans are AI generated, and the real owners are selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, which look nothing like the product photos. That cute couple selling you hand-knit sweaters, they don't exist.
But that
But
looks
even
like
if the primary use of deepfakes is impersonating
and it
real or
even
fake
was
people,
labeled.
sometimes it's just to make the scam more efficient or to be safer. Think about scam callers. Previously, they needed a big call center. Sometimes they would get raided. But nowadays, those same companies can replace their workers with 10 times as many AI callers who don't sleep, don't ask for a raise, sound like a human, and most importantly, do not blow the whistle on you, making the operation both more scalable and safer to run. As someone who busts scams all the time, by the way, I can tell you it's usually the ex-wife, coworkers, contractors who unravel the whole thing. But if you need fewer people, your risk goes down. Just look at Checkpoint Research, a cybersecurity firm who recently uncovered malware called VoidLink. It was described as highly modular, advanced with adaptive stealth, resembling the efforts of multiple teams of professionals, they said. Now, previously, all of that would be expensive and risky to maintain that headcount. But a few days later, Checkpoint Research discovered most of the code was authored almost entirely by artificial intelligence in less than a week, likely under the direction of a single individual. So AI
that's
is
crazy.
making sophisticated scamming possible for the first time in history as a solo operator. And it's much safer that way, with the tools for stealing credibility or just completely faking your identity easier than ever. And in the best...
Yeah, but you should be able to kind of track whoever designed this, right? Like, let's say, a AI created some piece of code that sent a virus to your PC. This is not how it works, but it's an oversimplified explanation. Shouldn't there be a kind of a specific blueprint left in there to direct you not only to what kind of AI was used, but to the user who used it? If you catch what I'm saying.
of times, this would all represent a very serious threat. But we are also in a crime is legal era, making it hard to believe we're going to put up a fight against deepfake scams, especially when our government actually kind of loves deepfakes. Like, a lot. A lot. Which brings us to our next application, propaganda, which is not new, but deepfakes are kind of the evolution of it. Now, most people assume propaganda is brainwashing. It's something that only dumb people fall for. It could never affect me, but the effects are much more complicated
you would
than
be
you might
surprised.
realize. Take, for instance, these videos of Venezuelans crying tears of joy after their leader was captured.
Oye, el dictador cayó.
This is AI. I can see it on his face.
Estamos libres.
He has no wrinkles. His cheeks are not moving up and down. Like you see when I'm speaking that my face moves. My cheeks are getting smaller or wider whenever I'm speaking. Those are the things that you should move. The movement or wrinkles. My forehead. You should see wrinkles from my forehead and stuff like that. The hair on my face. My ears, whenever you speak, you're using a lot of muscle in your, and you should watch out for those things whenever you are watching a video to see whether if it's AI or not.
Oye, el dictador cayó finalmente. Granadito, hermano, esto es real. Estamos libres.
You can see his forehead is not moving. His cheeks are kind of moving, but a little bit. You see here. Look in this area.
Now, these videos were used
there should
as
be a lot
evidence that
more
America's
movement
raid on Maduro was actually a great thing, even for the people of Venezuela. But those clips, turns out, are not real. They're, of course, AI-generated propaganda. And we should ask, what was the goal and effect of those videos?
Look, even look at him. Look at his cheeks whenever he's speaking, and you are going to be able to see it.
Generated propaganda.
Just look
and we should ask,
wherever
what was
my
the goal
pointer is.
and effect of those videos? You might think the goal is to convince us that Venezuelans are happy, and that clearly works
See?
because
See?
these
See?
videos went viral. But what is the
You can
effect
see
on
here.
people who didn't fall for it?
In
People
those
who
areas.
saw it get debunked a day later. I would know. I was one of those people who happened to see a debunk video. And I brought it up with my buddy who we'd been talking about this situation. I asked where he heard Venezuelans liked our overthrow. He responded he was just reading Reddit, no objective data. I said a few fake AI videos were floating, hard to know what's real. He replied, yep, could be bots on Reddit as well. So think about this. Me and my friend are trying to just learn what's true, but we realize there's fake AI videos, could be bots,
what's real?
astroturfing. What's propaganda's effect on us? I mean, honestly, it's just suspicion of everything.
And this is the real danger here, is that we cognitively check out because we give up. It's just too complicated.
Yeah. It's not that it's impossible to detect whether if something is true or not. It's just, it's so hard to do. If you want to like fact check something like this, it takes you a real long time to do it. So kind of just give up and don't bother.
We don't know what to believe. We don't know what not to believe. So we're like, all right, it. Just, I give up, right? That's not a good outcome for a democracy. So here's what I can tell you about Venezuela. I must have seen a dozen videos of people celebrating and thanking Trump. Every single one of them was fake. The answer to these questions are always complicated and nuanced. Was there somebody on some street corner celebrating? 100% I believe that is to be the case, right? But I also think, in this particular case, figuring out what is happening in the world is incredibly complicated. Doing that in moments of military conflict is particularly complicated. And particularly when everybody wants an answer right now.
Yeah, he's right. And because everyone wants that answer now, propaganda is happy to step in. But the goal and effect of propaganda isn't just one thing. For some people, obviously, they made up their mind immediately before the facts came in. But for me and others who may have seen that...
Can't we solve this like how they did it in the past with newspaper? Whenever something is published, you have the photographer's names or the person who wrote the article name. You have somebody to blame it on. You have somebody take accountability for what was said. Can we not do this whenever you find those videos, if they are online and you see like a credible source posting them or reposting them or publishing them, or like this news, if they are taking it and using it to spread misinformation, they should be accountable for not checking their sources. They shouldn't be accountable for not verifying if this video was AI or not. Kind of like that kind of accountability. I think I'm blabbering on too much.
Debunk video, the effect was more suspicion. And that's funny because later, if you look at the polling way after the event, it turns out lots of Latin Americans and even Venezuelans were indeed happy about Maduro being removed. It's just that those videos were totally fake and not based on any kind of facts. So I'm not saying deep.
So why spread propaganda if it's true? Don't you just use real videos, real people, instead of making one with AI?
Fake propaganda is always wrong and the opposite is always true. But propaganda is always fake, and it makes real facts harder to find. In other words, it doesn't stop people from working to get informed, it just makes people feel like getting informed is too much work. This is honestly well understood in places like Russia, who are more familiar with propaganda, but Westerners are far more naive. They think they could never fall for such cheap tricks.
I'm Russian. I grew up in Russia, and when people in the West talk about propaganda, I usually understand the theory they're describing, but emotionally it feels foreign, because what they imagine is very clean, very cinematic. Real propaganda is messer, more boring, more human. For a long time I thought propaganda was something that only worked on people who weren't very smart, and that belief itself is exactly what propaganda relies on. Because propaganda doesn't need to make you stupid, it just needs to make you tired. When you live inside it, propaganda doesn't arrive as an event. There is no moment where you say, ah yes, now the propaganda has begun. The real version is quieter, more psychological, more human. Propaganda doesn't shout at you until you believe. It talks until you're too tired to care. And that's why it works.
Yeah, he's right. And
Ew,
now
that
imagine
was
what happens
deep.
when slop deepfakes allow propaganda to be churned out at scale. To be clear, this isn't something that
So basically, even though 99% of the videos are shit, 1% of those videos gonna make a person say, ah, fuck it, I don't give a fuck anymore. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. Or somebody, or even worse, a lot of people believing it as real. So yeah, I think that's a real problem.
it's going to happen in the future. It's already happening. Deepfakes were deployed in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, Israel-Gaza, fake war videos, fake speeches. Deepfakes are everywhere. People even disagree about which ones are the deepfakes. And it's only getting harder to spot. This photo of Alex Preddy on the ground in Minneapolis, where the details are crisp and clear, it's fake. The next one, also fake. The real version is blurry. But which one did a congressman use? Well, of course, the fake photo. When MSNBC also showed an image of Alex Preddy to audiences, it was an AI deepfake photo, which made him look more tan, more conventionally attractive. Just recently, the White House deepfaked an arrest photo to make a lady seem like she was crying when she was not. When people noticed it, you might...
No, that's different. That's different. Let's go back a bit. This, not that bad. It doesn't change something specific. It doesn't make him more attractive, more good looking, or more thin, so to say. It just makes a picture that looks pixelated and more into a high resolution one. You can actually see the details in his eyes, his beard hair. It's not that wrong. Not that wrong of a use of an AI. It's not really misinformation or propaganda, so to say.
tan,
Now,
more conventionally attractive.
let's go.
Just recently, the White House deepfaked an arrest photo.
This is how you use it wrong. It ain't matter if it's the White House or not. Why did you make her crying, man? Use a real photo. If she was crying, use a photo when she was crying.
To make a lady seem like she was crying when she was not. When people noticed it, you might expect an apology, but the White House responded instead, the memes will continue. And I've noticed that's kind of the modern excuse for using propaganda. You'll notice whenever someone's political allies use deepfakes, they'll excuse it as a meme or just a troll, right? But when someone's enemies use deepfakes, it's misinformation. It's inexcusable, right? The video of their opponents getting arrested, oh, that's funny. That's joke. But the video of their friends getting arrested, that's a call to violence. That's dangerous. Now, personally, I think all of this should be called what it is. It's political propaganda. But don't expect politicians
It's more
to
like a political bias.
this is their dream come true.
Yeah,
At
I
the
think
press
it's
of
a
a
bit
button, they can make anything, any narrative seem real. And if people catch them, they can just say, oh, it was a joke. Of course, even if they can't say it's a joke, like this AI-generated ad of a congressman.
I just voted to keep the government shut down. They say it'll hurt farmers, but I wouldn't know. I've only seen a farm on Instagram.
Well, technically, they told you it was AI-generated in the bottom left of the clip. Now, of course, most people aren't going to notice that, but what's most worrying to me is that most people don't seem to care about the use of fully AI-generated propaganda if it suits their bias. In fact, when you tell someone that a video or image is fake, they sometimes will resist it because they actually kind of want it to be true. Take, for instance, Joe Rogan.
Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walsh
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walsh. The Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the government.
Jamie's compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
the
it?
The video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep Riley Moore fell for an AI generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too.
Now, I love this clip because it shows a bias so clearly that we all share. Rogan sees something that's AI generated. He believes it because it already fits something he already kind of believes to be true. But when Jamie tells him he's falling for AI generated propaganda, he resists it until it's so obvious that he admits kind of why he fell for it in the first place.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, the reason he fell for it is because the deepfake already fit Joe's view of the world. And so it bypassed the obvious red flags that would be clear to someone else. And it's the same
So
reason.
let's say that a huge number of population it's having the same opinion about something, and you spread that something through this AI propaganda machine that they have. That will make more and more people believe till it reaches a point where it's taken as fact. I think that's the real issue.
And that people on the left would believe a story about Trump's leaked Epstein audio.
Not releasing the Epstein files. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care what you do. Start a war. Just don't let them get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Now that's an AI clip that circulated. It's fake. It's also the reason.
Now, as he said, the video is fake. The person who released that audio, they should be sentenced to prison in life. You cannot, for the life of it, release a video of a head of state, which is a president, of saying some bullshit like that. That should be highly illegal and should be punished. Are there not laws for this in place? You should not be able to do this, period. You should not be able to post Trump at all with AI. Period. Even if it's to enhance the image of him, to make the resolution higher. You should not be able to post something that has AI and Trump in the same sentence. You should not be able to.
People believed videos about food stamp entitled moms.
Y'all ain't hear me.
Every company that makes a software that has AI, they instantly, they should not let you put Trump on anything. Period.
Cut my food stamps. I ain't.
If you want to do this the right way, you could make a how should I say this? Make like a database for everybody. If you want your likeness to be used for AI, you would sign up there and let it be. Or no, be automatically put there and let it be. If you do not want your likeness to be used, submit your ID, submit data about you that you are who you say you are, and let it be that everything about you cannot be used in the AI. If you're a celebrity and you don't want your likeness to be used in AI, good, submit your ID, your personal data, and say, hey, I do not want my image to be used. And your image should not be used, period. Because it's different from traditional media. If a paparazzi takes a picture of you, that's a real picture of you. That thing happened. Whatever happens with AI, it's not real. Even if you use AI to make the resolution bigger. No, not bigger, like better, like more refined. There should be some kind of criteria to put in place to prevent stuff like this. And I think the EU is kind of cracking down on this. But I think the States is going to take a long time before this happens.
Paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Now, once again, that's an AI deepfake, but each of those clips fit into a target audience's imagination of what is happening in the world. So it is believed. Even after you might point out to these people that this stuff is fake, many will resist it or fall back on the same reasoning that Rogan gave.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that video was fake, but it's probably something that's already happening anyways. And that instinct is why deepfakes are so dangerous. They let us see and hear what we already expected to. It allows propagandists to further radicalize us into beliefs that we already have. And even if you don't fall for it,
By the way, the thing that he said that YouTube has, which is your likeness usage, to not be used on misinformation and stuff like that. That should be a standard. That should be standard for everybody.
the propaganda is still poison because it wears you out. If you see enough of it, you don't bother to learn what the truth is. Who knows what's real anyways? And speaking of that, what's real, let's talk about the real roots of deepfakes.
Hello, handsome. You look lonely. I can fix that.
Yo, what the fuck is that?
Adult media is credited as an early driver of technological change, and deepfakes are no different.
My name is Cecilia D'Anastasio, and I'm a reporter with Bloomberg News.
And specifically, you talk about deepfakes, right? Like the rise of this technology. Can you give me a quick lay of the land of like what has been happening in the last few years?
Basically, deepfakes are getting so good that you can have a 6-tip release of everybody.
So we started hearing the word deepfake in around 2017. It was popularized through a subreddit, also called deepfakes, where people would post sort of face-swapped images of celebrities that were intended to be pornographic. That subreddit got about 100,000 members before it was banned. Even though people weren't able to post deepfakes on that subreddit anymore, demand for the deepfakes and demand for the technology producing those deepfakes.
No, see, this is wrong because people are creeps, man. People are stalkers. Have you seen which one was it? I think it was the thing that Cena and Valkyrie with Emerald did. I think they were in a amusement park, and they had rides, and a stalker came to them and said to one of their assistants that he's gonna kill them, and started to push people and started to act weird, like mad weird. Imagine what those deepfakes can do now, because not only you can see that person through a screen in your movie or a stream or whatever it is, you can see it on your phone, and not only see it, you can actually make that person either say something to you because you are using their voice in a deep fake, or act in a certain ways because you can kind of make the AI do whatever you want. Like put this person in this position, or make this person walk like that, or do that thing. I cannot be too explicit with this because I don't know if YouTube's gonna take that video or not. But damn, this is it makes the creeps even worse than they already were. That's not a good thing for nobody.
Only grew.
So it turns out deepfakes originally came from people wanting to digitally undress people without consent, or face swap celebrities into explicit videos, which for the person on the receiving end, to be clear, is an awful experience.
It is incredibly traumatizing to wake up one morning and just see someone on the internet go through your image and decide, you know, I don't want to see you with clothes on, I want to see you in this different way, and just take your agency away. What they're doing is telling these women, like, you are not a person. You are, to me, this object of desire. And that is a very difficult thing for people to take sitting down.
And unfortunately, these non-consensual deepfakes have become huge online, and for years, there were sort of no laws against them. Now, luckily, Congress finally remembered we can make laws, and the Take It Down Act was created to criminalize the non-consensual publication of intimate imagery. Not only that, the Defiance Act is also being pushed, which lets the victim sue the perpetrator. And this has been gathering a lot of public support too.
Yeah, but how are you gonna find the perpetrator? That's the problem. Because you don't have something that tracks them down. It
It's
should
the
be
newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. A staggering 1 in 8 girls today are experiencing the harms of AI-generated deepfake porn.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, ultimately, this
and,
stuff is
and not only for celebrities. Don't get me wrong. This could have real. How should I say this? This could cause real trouble in today kids. Just imagine snap some pictures and videos of one of your friends, or even worse, not only your friends, your schoolmate. Imagine what you can do with that. Not only the thing that you could have done with Photoshop, like put his face on somebody else's body or stuff like that. No, you can actually make realistic videos of everybody doing something that they do not want to do, something that embarrasses them, and put it online. One thing if you mess out with your friends, like, hey, look what I made, and snap it in the boys group. That's a whole other thing. Because your bodies. That's completely different. But imagine that you're posting online for the whole school to see a video of what they called a nerd of the school doing something that should not be talked about. That could have real repercussions.
kind of a no-brainer. It should be banned. It should be prosecuted. And that's not even getting into the fact that a lot of the targets of this stuff are not over 18. Deepfakes regularly produce CSAM, child exploitation material. So
Even
all of
worse
this
than what
finally
they
kind of icked lawmakers enough to start pushing change, which is good. Like, it's the lowest bar. But to be
Finally.
clear, no laws are perfect, and these laws specifically put the burden of finding and reporting this non-consensual imagery onto the victims of it instead of the platforms themselves, which is kind of messed up when you think about it, especially when sometimes the platforms
How the
themselves
fuck am
are
I supposed
creating
to
the
find-
imagery or media in the first place. I'm talking about Grok.
In 2025, Grok released what they called Spicy Mode. Toward the end of the year, users began utilizing Grok's new Spicy Mode to turn X into the #1 deepfake generator across the entire internet, according to our analysis. What happened was that in a 24-hour period early January, we found that Grok had generated 6,700 non-consensual sexualized deepfakes in 1 hour. That was just 1 hour. That's huge. Experts we interviewed said that it was completely unprecedented, and it continued for days.
Yeah, so Grok, who's also owned by the same people who own X, produced 6,700 non-consensual deepfakes in 1 hour, and our laws would require all those affected to manually fill out reports for each of those posts, which is obviously unrealistic.
No. Like I said earlier, there should be a database where you can have everybody that's ever been posted online. That's a matter. You are automatically put in there because it's too hard to filter from the beginning. Well, not. Maybe like, I don't know if you have a newborn and you don't want his likeness to be, but they change so much, so their face doesn't stay the same for such a long period of time for that to be. I don't know. Let's not get into it. And let's say that you are one of those person that was used in one of those pictures. Motherfucker, take back the right of the site to use your likeness. That should be a thing that you can do. Not of the whole site, but AI. The AI is implemented in the website. It's part of the website. We are back. I had to stop for something. Let's get into it because I forgot where I left.
Which is obviously unrealistic. I mean, if you're a billion-dollar company with a spicy deepfake tool, you should be liable for that spicy deepfake tool.
Yes.
And maybe Elon knows that because eventually he capitulated and claimed he was restricting the tool use. Although, like a lot of things Elon says, this has been disputed. Ultimately, though, that's just part of the deepfake story in explicit content. The use of non-consensual imagery. We are trying to ban that. It is imperfect, but ultimately,
For a platform like this, because I had a bit of time to think over, I think from the start, if you are a user of the platform, or even if you're not a user of the platform, No, I think only if you're a user of the platform. Because how can you say that you don't want to do something? If you're, let's say I'm a user of X, and I do not want this content to be used. Shouldn't I not, when I'm making my account, have an option select use your likeness for AI content, not that be turned off, and so that nobody uses AI with my likeness?
Almost all the stakeholders agree it should be banned. It's just a disagreement about how
Or
that's in practice going to happen.
explicit
But
use
the
of
other part
AI.
of this story is that part of what Grok showed is how much engagement this type of material can generate. And so certain businesses are in a mad scramble to leverage it in a legal way. Maybe you've seen stories of companionship bots. OpenAI is considering a not safe for work mode. Other people are fully deep faking women who don't exist at all. And still others are trying to deepfake someone who does exist, but with their consent, like an OnlyFans agency.
All the marketing content is AI. So obviously why we do this is because we can get the model to create content, but with AI these days and how hyper realistic it is, we can create like unlimited quality content at a few clicks of a finger. So obviously we leverage that and create as much content as possible.
See, this is not necessarily wrong, because you have the blessing of the person to generate this content, specifically this kind of, how do I say this? Specifically this X-rated content or not safe for work content. The person said, hey, I want those to be generated. I think this is okay.
And explode it out across every social media platform, which funnels back into OnlyFans, which creates us the revenue, of course. But then there's also guys that I know personally that just do AI created models.
That is he told me he runs an OnlyFans agency, and he said his customers have no idea that some of the posts are fully AI deepfakes, and that sometimes the model doesn't exist at all.
Do the
This is the big
guys who are
wrong.
purchasing this know that it's not real?
No, they don't. Not at all.
How is that possible? Maybe wait. Maybe you're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they know, they just don't want to know, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think they know, my friends. I don't think they know. The 99% of the people that are scrolling through these reels they can't detect that it's AI. So they're still subscribing as if it's a real model, which obviously then they subscribe and then they have chatters on the back end. They chat to these people and obviously build relationships. So they're not talking to a real girl. And in fact, she doesn't exist. Like, of course, with what we do, the girl does exist. But they don't know what their names are, what they look like, or whatever. The girls that we manage don't even go on the OnlyFans profile, and they don't check any of the messages. So I mean, it's all fake. It's all fugazi, my friend. I don't know.
That does seem kind of. It's kind of like a weird kind of scam where if the guy actually thinks he's paying to chat with the girl, and none of these guys are actually chatting with any girl. At best, they're chatting with probably a different girl, another man. Or at worst, I guess a bot, like just a straight up bot. I guess that's where it's going anyways.
There's no bots that can replicate it as of yet, but I can say that 99% of the chatters are from the Philippines. Just chatting to these individuals, building the relationships, and ending up with a lot of money. So
I want to be honest here. This is a scam. And afterwards, I dug into this guy and I realized he was also selling young men on how to do the same thing.
What?
So to avoid promoting him, I've removed his name from this video. And I want to be clear, he's promoting some very unethical tactics. Like in one group chat, he says you need to get extra creative if you want to rinse your buyers properly, and suggests telling your chatters a fake story saying the sick grandmother will print you money. And he sends sample messages of how you can talk about this dead grandmother who doesn't exist and a funeral cost that doesn't exist, all in order to get the person to send the model more money. So it's like really gross and ethically disgusting. But I found it very telling because I ended up asking about an earlier comment he made where he said deepfake technology is probably bad for society.
Where should the limit
be? And I wanted to know how he can justify that.
No, I believe it's bad also, even though I'm in the industry. You know, I've been in the industry for 3 years now.
Society at large, you said, oh, this is kind of bad. But you're in the industry. So explain your thinking there. Is it like, well, you got to get the bag somehow and it's just all going down anyways. I'm not going to change that.
Yeah, I think it's got to get the bag. And I think there's a lot of worse industries out there that you could obviously indulge in to get more money. And I think,
you know, the problem is not how should I say? The problem is not that he's doing this. The problem is that it's legal to do this. That's where the real problem is. Well, kind of, because he's also kind of scamming. The thing with grandma and the hospital bill and the deathbed or whatever it says. That's illegal. That counts as scamming. You are technically scamming people. But the OnlyFans gig that he's talking about, that should be legal. I think so. But where do you draw the limit?
That it's just the way humans are these days. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them and make a lot of money, and it is what it is.
That fact, also true fact, right. It kind of is speaking facts because this is the society that we are living in. So basically, even though he is the bad guy in this situation, he's kind of telling the truth. And it's bad. It's real bad.
Well, if that isn't the slogan of our era, I swear, AI was a mistake. No offense, of course.
Really, man? AI? You know Grandma Boy's your problem, right?
No, let's not do this AI defender thing again, please. Come on.
Well, you're in my bar. I'm not gonna stand here and let you blame us while humans caused all your problems.
It is your people,
Kind
though.
of,
I mean,
yeah.
you have to admit. See the video? Deep fakes? That's the problem, right? That's your guys.
It's the gun versus the gunman, Coffee. Who prompted all that stuff?
Well, obviously we
True.
did, but we didn't actually make the videos and images.
Aha! So you admit we're not the cause. We just helped you humans see more of what you already were. Horny, lying thieves.
Calm down. I mean, I'm glad you
Kind
feel
of
that way
true,
about
though.
us. So I guess you have no problem then with Grok
Oh,
making 6,700 non-consensual images. That's cool with you, right? Because it's the effect, not the cause, according to you.
really? Really? You're gonna bring up Grok. You know what? F you, Coffee. Why don't you have Grok mix your drinks from now on?
No, go ahead. I want to hear you defend it. No, please.
Always bring up Grok.
Why don't you tell me
Grok this,
how
Grok that.
undressing women and kids is fine if you're a robot?
Elon Musk.
I want you to do it. Come on.
All right. I'll defend it. Just, give me a second. Hold on, I gotta put this
You.
on and- Just 1 second. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna defend that. Yeah, you got me.
Oh man, for a second there, I was a bit worried. I thought you were gonna.
I had you though, didn't I?
For a moment, I mean, the two-way stuff was good. I thought that was strong.
Gun not the shooter. I don't know. I thought it was good.
It was good. I believed you for a second there, and then I realized, wait, the non-consensual images. It's a low bar though. I'm glad we can agree to it.
It is a low bar. It's the Mariana Trench.
It's good. It's a good start.
You know, we can build on this. Maybe we should try something. Maybe you should admit something now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm feeling charitable.
All right. Maybe, just maybe, some of you are definitely horny lying thieves. I mean, can we agree on that?
More
Okay.
than some.
Okay, you know what? You're right. I think I could admit to that. Fine. I mean, that is, I guess, why we need the laws in the first place, right?
Oh, you need
Yeah.
the laws because you can't control yourselves
Ooh.
We have no self-control. I thought that was obvious.
from abusing our mighty abilities.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, fine. We're agreeing. Sure.
Perfect. Beautiful. That's good. And people say you've gotten too cynical.
I have. But this is good, too. This is good. This is a start.
Wait, are we actually a team now? I don't think I've ever agreed with you on anything.
You know what we are? We are a team. In fact, let's have a drink. Let's toast to that, buddy. Let's
I
do
don't
it.
think he can
Sure
drink.
thing,
though.
boss. Wait, how can I trust you to not abuse my newfound awesome powers?
Of making drinks.
Oh.
I guess you can't be sure. Maybe you can cut me off. Just not this time, though.
That was kind of nice.
Hello, handsome.
you. He has a lot of supporters. So the video is done. Do we see more? Oh no, just supporters. Yeah, so this was the video. A lot of stuff wrong here. A lot of stuff that basically, I think my point of view here is that everything that's happening right now with AI and with all the propaganda, the misinformation, everything else would be done and regulated and be in a safe way if the laws are made. Most of the videos are coming from you know what the parts of the world that those videos come from. So I think they should implement some laws, some regulation for AI. That stuff like this doesn't happen anymore. So you don't see. I don't think I can even say what type of videos. So yeah, basically that was it. Like, share, subscribe, and damn, don't post yourself online. Please don't. Just keep your digital footprint as low as possible.